that we've committed to is again to continue supporting them on expediting aspects to do with the clearance of the environmental social impact assessments, working with NEMA to be able to license them in a timely manner, because that is one of the requirements. They must submit an acceptable environmental social impact assessment. So that is going to be important. The other one that we've committed to today is largely on employment and capacity building. We know that the artisanal and small-scale mining business is admitting or is employing many Ugandans. In gold alone, we are looking at about 70,000. But when you look at the entire artisanal and small-scale mining business, we are talking of 300,000 ASMs in the sector. So it's important that we continue organizing them, because it's also an avenue for job creation for the youth, but also the entire citizenry of the country. So the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development remains committed to continue the support to these artisanal and small-scale miners, and we are already supported by Cabinet. We approved the gold purchase program by Bank of Uganda that will also provide another access avenue in terms of market for these artisanal and small-scale miners. Thank you very much. Artisanal and small-scale miners. Thank you very much. Tons of mercury from the mining sector. That is about 8,000 kilograms of mercury that we aim to eliminate in the coming year 2026. So this is aligned with the National Development Plan for the government, where we are committed to support artisanal and small-scale miners to ensure that they are able to use modern tools, modern technologies in advancing their work in this sector. So as the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, we've made several commitments in this meeting. Number one, we have committed to continue the formalization and regulation of artisanal miners. So far, under our biometric registration process, we've registered about 6,000 artisanal and small-scale miners, including those in gold mining, and we want to continue with that program as we support them to be licensed. Number two, we have committed today. Well, when you're not healthy, you're not wealthy. So your health is your wealth. So in terms of commitment going forward, in order to support this transition from mercury use to better technologies, we are aware of the number of challenges that the artisanal and small-scale mining industry faces. And as a government, we have committed, even as enshrined in the NDP4, to continue supporting this industry proactively and deliberately. Number one, we've committed to continue our formalization and regulation of the industry. And I want to thank Planet Gold that in your next year's annual plan, you have captured this as among your action points, so you're well aligned with the National Development Plan 4. Number two, we've committed to support business development and putting in place interventions to support access to formal financing. We are aware of the challenges of liquidity that the artisanal and small-scale miners face. So working with Planet Gold, but also the Ministry of Finance, we continue to look at measures that will alleviate this challenge. We are keen to work with the banks. The last time we had the Energy and Mines organize the last mining conference, we interfaced with the banks, and the banks were very strong in indicating that they don't understand the mining sector. They indicated that we needed to support the artisanal and small-scale miners to de-risk the mining sector, especially ASM, in order for the ASM industry to access patient capital from the banks. So what are we doing? And I was discussing with Ms. Joanne earlier, that we need to support the ASM industry to be able to quantify your reserves. And we have given this task also to the National Mining Company to acquire the technical services and technology to support in the drilling so that you have an idea of how much resource is seated in your different licenses as we license the different cooperatives, so that you can access finance from the banks with an idea of your reserves, because the banks want to understand your cash flows if they are going to lend to these operations. So we are keen and we will support the side. And as we do this, number three, we are keen to ensure that we continue our market access interventions. And we are therefore working on establishing designated areas for trading in minerals, so that you're not trading with Patel and others in closed doors, in hotel rooms, lobbies. We really want to streamline the trading of the minerals through establishment of mineral markets and mineral buying centers. This one is seated at the core of our National Development Plan 4 as a market access intervention. So we are finalizing, working with the Attorney General, a regulation that will open up these mineral markets, and we support you to access competitive prices for these minerals, so that you're not going through middlemen and other middlemen and therefore earning less for the value you've put in. The effort we've seen in those videos should be supported, so that you are getting what you deserve as artisanal miners. In access intervention, we are working with the Bank of Uganda to establish the gold purchase program. We are happy to report that Cabinet approved this about 3 weeks or a month ago, and the Bank of Uganda has commenced its pilot domestic purchase program for gold. So what that does, it also gives you an opportunity to access an established market where you can fetch competitive prices for the gold. The other fourth intervention, we want to support value addition and infrastructure development. Value addition, we've set up 2 beneficiation centers in Tungamo, Fort Portal, others planned in Busia and in areas of Karamoja, and we want to support you process these minerals before you get to the market. So we are keen on this aspect. So the National Mining Company has been given the imperative to ensure that they quickly operationalize these beneficiation centers to be able to support the ASMs better. I am glad in the intervention for the Planet Gold, aspects of technology have come out pronounced. As the government, indeed, we also want to support on the technology advancement side, so that you access better technology, gravimetric technology, so that we support this transition away from Mercury. So I am happy that the government's strategy and plan is well aligned with Planet Gold's interventions for the new year, and we look forward to walking this journey with Planet Gold to ensure that we support the ASM better. So as a call to action from the government, we want to remind all the ASMs that your health, again, is your wealth. When you're not healthy, you're not wealthy, even if you have gold. So you might have the gold and spend all the money on a hospital bed accessing treatment. So let us keep that in mind. Your health is your wealth. So in closing, once again, on behalf of the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, we want to appreciate Planet Gold, together with the financiers, the Global Environment Facility, UNEP, but also thank NEMA that has been working closely with the departments in the ministry, especially under Madame Alaba, to advance the work under this program. We want to appreciate the Chamber of Energy and Mines that really also convenes us alongside Planet Gold and forward to that support in the new year. And of course, the artisanal and small-scale miners, who I indicated in my opening are a critical part of the economy, especially on creating employment. When I had the figure of 70,000 or so, that is a significant figure. And as the government, we will definitely continue the support to the artisanal and small-scale miners. I therefore wish you successful deliberations for this meeting, and we look forward to strengthening our partnership. And as the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, we reiterate together with the team that we are now operating a no-door policy. It's not just open door, it's no door. Just walk in and you will see us, Madame Alaba and everyone else. So we thank you and we look forward to another year of great progress. And I therefore wish you a good holiday season, because that too is around the corner, and a great election. I thank you very much.
Yes, may I request that you hold your steps over there, and for purposes of the formal, or should we say, illness of your duties, to open this event, that you stay right there. And while you're there, you'll be joined by a few people, one of whom is Joan, and you know what to carry with you in your hand. Mr. Bagana, join the team, and you know what to carry with you. Lynn, Planet Gold, Professor Okumu, you. Aisha Kamhanda Uliwa, now Baden Saba Oje, Osandi. Very well. We can make Mercury history. I think we could never have had a more resounding commitment than the commitment that these people at the front, the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, the big person from Impact, the big person from NEPA, the big person from UNEP, and then of course our most valuable players in this business, who are the mining.
So signal when I should start. We are going to break and start. Today we are participating in the annual general meeting for Planet Gold, where Planet Gold, which is an organization that we partner with as the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, is presenting its annual performance as its responsibility to accountability and transparency. And from this session, we convene all artisanal and small-scale miners in gold, specifically in gold, to take stock of the work we have done throughout the year. So in the meeting, it has come out very clearly the strides that the government is making in the artisanal and small-scale mining business, supporting gold miners, working with our partners such as Planet Gold. Planet Gold is supported by the Global Environment Facility and UNEP, the United Nations Environment Program, that are financing the different interventions. Now, the assessment we have taken for the last 1 year, closing this December, we have made strides in the formalization and regulation of artisanal miners, where the ministry put in place a specific regulation that is meant to support the artisanal and small-scale miners get licensed. So through their cooperatives, we issue licenses. We've so far issued 3 licenses to cooperatives in Chigezi, in Abim, and in Kasanda Mubende. That way, it is then easy for them to do several things. It supports these artisanal and small-scale miners, especially in gold, who total to about 70,000, to be able to access finance. The banks have been raising concern that the groups were largely informal, and it was very difficult to lend them based on the risk profile that they present. But with this arrangement that the government has put in place, advanced interventions under market access. And what are we doing here? We are working to establish designated areas for mineral trading so that these artisanal and small-scale miners are able to access competitive prices for the minerals that they are mining. So we are going to focus working with the Ministry of Finance, but also with the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs to include the regulation that we need to establish these mineral markets. Initially, we are targeting areas of Mubende and Kasanda, where we will have a mineral buying center, but also areas of Ntungamo for tin and other products that come from the Ntungamo, the greater southwestern area, but also Musima, where we have gold trading. So those will be our initial focal locations for these trading centers, so that these minerals are not traded outside these designated areas, and that way we are able to support these mineral dealers and other ASMs to access competitive prices in alignment with the effort they are putting in. That we've committed to is again to continue supporting them on expediting aspects to do with the clearance of the environmental social impact assessments, working with NEMA to be able to license them in a timely manner, because that is one of the requirements. They must submit an acceptable environmental social impact assessment. So that is going to be important. The other one that we've committed to today is largely on employment and capacity building. We know that the artisanal and small-scale mining business is admitting or is employing many Ugandans. In gold alone, we are looking at about 70,000. But when you look at the entire artisanal and small-scale mining business, we are talking of 300,000 ASMs in the sector. So it's important that we continue organizing them, because it's also an avenue for job creation for the youth, but also the entire citizenry of the country. So the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development remains committed to continue the support to these artisanal and small-scale miners, and we are already supported by Cabinet. We approved the gold purchase program by Bank of Uganda that will also provide another access avenue in terms of market for these artisanal and small-scale miners. Thank you very much. Is under value addition and infrastructure. We have committed as the government, and therefore the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, that we will support these artisanals as one avenue on technology advancement by establishing mineral beneficiation centers. These are places where the artisanals process their minerals at a cheaper cost because they are managed by the government. So we have one in Tungamo and another in Port Portal. We are working to establish more beneficiation centers in Busia, but also in areas of Karamoja. Now, we will, as part of this process, also advance the infrastructure they need. Remember, the policy of government is value addition to these minerals, but we are also cognizant of the fact that we need to extend infrastructure like power, electricity, but also roads. So we are also supporting that. These artisanal and small-scale miners, but also the large-scale miners, are going to add value. They need support in terms of electricity, and we have a number of programs where we are deliberately extending power to these mining sites to support the value addition process.
Great. My name is Lynn Gitu, and I'm the project manager of the Planet Gold Uganda project. The Planet Gold Uganda project is working with the government of Uganda, the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, as well as the National Environment Management Authority, to support artisanal and small-scale gold miners to eliminate the use of mercury in the processing of gold. The initiative of the Planet Gold program, which is in at least 28 countries around the world, is important in this time because of a number of reasons. Mercury is harmful to human health and to the environment, and the artisanal and small-scale gold mining sector pollutes with mercury more than any other sector. Mercury is used in medical devices, in other industrial processes, but when it comes to the extent of pollution, it is mostly done by the artisanal and small-scale gold mining sector, not just in Uganda, but worldwide. It's important to note that an initiative like this one becomes popular or becomes critical in this season because mercury contamination around the world and pollution has extensively increased over the last 10 years. And this is the reason why you will see an initiative like this one are becoming more popular in Uganda, in East Africa, in Africa, in Latin America, and in Asia, in some parts of Asia. We are talking about reducing 8 tons of mercury in the ASGM sector of Uganda, because reducing the use of mercury is a gradual process. It cannot happen quickly. We are working towards elimination, but we also understand that miners need to go through awareness raising, they need to go through understanding, they need to be given opportunities to access finance so that they can improve the way that they do their work. They also need to get access to alternative technologies, which do take time to put together, as well as to be trained on how to use them. So this is why we are taking a gradual approach, a process by process approach, because if we try to push the change too quickly, what we have found is that miners will tend to move to the back and continue to use mercury, and that becomes even more dangerous to their health, and it increases the use of mercury within the sector. The thing about mercury in the gold processing sector is that it's easy to use. You don't need to be an expert. You just take the mercury, put it in material, pan, and you get your gold. Now, because of this, and because the alternatives require some technical skill and advancement, we have to be careful how we work with miners to lead towards elimination of mercury use. Abalonge abasima zaabu twagala bakubiriza okuva ku nkozesa ekozesa ekirungo kya mercury. Ekirungo kino ekya mercury